Welcome to Megapath Presents, and this is an update on my original comic. The working title, if you're new, is Dead Living. Hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to announce the official title and hopefully a bigger update of when it will be available. Now, it's not available right now, but the ball is actually moving pretty good on it, and this update is important for that. Now, if the lighting isn't too great, I'm actually recording this later at night because I recorded the initial update and it ran long, and to be honest with you, I was drowning you in the details and it was kind of boring. I was editing it yesterday like, this is dull. I just need to say boom, 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 this is what happened, and then this is where we're going from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the information real quick, the update. I'm going to answer a few questions off Instagram, and we're going to keep it moving. Tomorrow I'll update the feeding post. That thing is... oh, it's looking so awesome. The feeding post is the first issue. Anyway, I got an idea right now. The artist just showed me an additional cover idea, and I love it. And I have an idea for variants that's just awesome. I love it so much. But anyway, basically what happened is I had the original artist, and you guys never saw any art from him. He was basically dragging his feet. And while he was dragging his feet, I was talking to another guy named James Milne. Now, you've seen his artwork if you've seen The Prisoner Here Tied Up. Long story short, when I was getting frustrated with the original artist, who was someone I was talking to a while ago, it was somebody who was passionate and wanted to do it if I ever decided. So the original artist was on board, passionate, whoop-de-whoop. When it was finally time to say, okay, dude, listen, I got the story on lockdown for the next 50 issues. I'm doing outlines and rewrites, and I got it just the way I want it. Let's start doing the pictures for promotions. Let's just start doing the prints. And the original artist was kind of like, well, let's just do the backing first, the Patreon. Let's crowdfund because I kind of need money to do the whoop-de-whoop. And I'm like, listen, in order to do this, we need to do it passionate. I don't know about money. I'm not expecting to get paid. This is a story I want to tell and put it out there. Long story short, he wanted this project to be churning money online. I guess that's a popular thing to do. And I'm like, no, I want to show the people, you know, what they're investing in, what they're buying first. I want them to look at it and be like, damn, this is something that I want to continue. We both had a different idea on how it wanted to grow. Long story short, we said, listen, this isn't going to work out. While that's happening, James Milne was like, oh, what was that promo you needed? Because I was talking to him out of frustration. Because I've been talking to him over the past year and a half. He's an artist, and he did a couple images for me, so I was chit-chatting with him, and he said, listen, check this out. He did one, and I was like, that is awesome. Let me know if you want to do the art, whatever. He had some things going on. And then I think like a week later, he messaged me back and we were talking, and he was like, you know what? Yeah, I could clear some of my schedule if you want to do this. And I'm like, let's just fucking do it already, like straight up. So that's why you guys saw in social media I put up a couple more images. What I'm gonna do from this point on is I'm gonna go back, and because previously when the other dude was dragging his feet, I was planning the story for up to about 60 issues, doing outlines, trying to go back and then plant seeds for the character development, the storylines, and see how everything's going to connect in the long scheme of things, because it is a pretty long story, and that's why I turned it from a screenplay to a comic, because the story's just too long. It does have an end. It's not a never-ending tale. It does have an ending, you know? However, the ending is it's not gonna be a while till it ends if it continues. So now what I need to do is polish the story, give him the first issues, he could work on that. I'm gonna get ahead of him as far as making some descriptions that I need for the characters or for a background, do some outlines, some blueprints sort of things, so he can see the scene, how characters need to move in and out of certain buildings, and the layout of the lands, because some of that shit's really important, especially during like little mini battles. So he's going to get started on the first couple issues, so hopefully soon, within the next month or two, we'll have a better idea of how we're going to present it to you guys and see what's the next step from there. So let's answer a few questions, but basically this is huge, great news, because unless lightning strikes either one of us, we're doing this, you know, like playtime's over, this shit is for real happening. I'm not going to go over names or whatever, I'm just going to blast through the questions. Ronnie, will this be available in the UK? If you're anyone who asks, will this be available in wherever you're at, I will do everything in my power to make it available. Now, keep in mind, there's still the digital option that'll be available wherever. Now, if you want the physical copy, which some of these are gorgeous, the covers, so you're going to want the physical copy. I know as a comic fan, I would, you know what I'm saying? I will do everything in my power to figure a way to get it to you, even if for a few of them I gotta mail them myself. Trust me, I will go above and beyond to get them to you, but we will have details, clear details, a better understanding when we get closer to that point. Worst case scenario, you'll be able to read it digitally first to see if you can if you want to make the commitment to even get it shipped to you. So that's how we're going to do it. Next question, is this your own comic? Yes. Will it be in black and white? Listen, my thing is I want color. Depending on costs or what we have to do, there might be some promo images that are in black and white. You might get like an example of the digital copy out there, depending on what we want to preview in black and white. But I'm going for color. I'm doing everything in my power to make it color one way or the other. Release date. No, we don't have release dates, but again, the updates will be flowing. A lot of positive feedback on here, man. I'm scrolling through just positive feedback, which is awesome. Will you ship to Germany? Again, we're going to do everything we can. I'm not illustrating this. James Milne is the illustrator. I'm going to leave his Instagram as well as mine and everything else, so you can go follow him because he's going to be putting up teases as well. Where can I read your comic? Map Dead Living on Facebook. MAPP, Dead Living. You can go there and you'll get Facebook updates. Yeah, someone asked, why is it called The Feeding Post? Essentially, the story opens up with two individuals. You're never going to know their identities in the first issue. Actually, you're not going to know their true identities for quite a while, which is part of the story, because that is a story in itself. But anyway, it opens up with just two characters in the very beginning of the first issue, because it gets bigger quicker. So in the very beginning, you got the rider and then the prisoner. The rider is going to take the prisoner to a post in the ground, and then he's going to chain him up and let zombies come and eat him alive. That's the prisoner's punishment. But here's the thing. The rider is our hero. So how messed up is that? You know what I'm saying? As far as who they are, that's what the story is going to tell. The story of these characters. Essentially both of them. Will you reveal some of the character names? I've already revealed Tristan. I've already revealed Katie. There are two bartenders. They're co-workers. There's going to be Tristan's sister, Tristan's son. There's also going to be Tristan's best friend, which is his sister's neighbor, his wife, and then the two kids. Now, those aren't constantly in it. You know what I'm saying? Those are characters you will see because of Tristan and interacting with them within the storyline, because it is the breakdown of a society. So you will see the society, and obviously in society you have friends and family and shit like that. There's also a character that I'm so excited to get to, but she's not in the first, I think she's in previews like issue 20 or something like that. And that is the Native American female, also the Native American male. Excited for those two. And the male is the brother to the female, which is awesome. I cannot wait. Having so much fun with that character. Will this be available to buy in Europe? Same thing. If we can get it to you, we're going to do our best. Are the zombies going to be called zombies? I actually replied to this and said they're going to be called something else. Zombies has built up an almost comedic silliness to it, and just saying the word zombie in a movie or show hurts the realism, in my opinion, and I believe that 100%. When you watch these zombie movies nowadays, if you get one that's grounded in reality, and they're like, there's fucking zombies out there, or they're like, well, what about the zombies? It's silly as shit. The word zombie, though, and I think that maybe that's just something for me. To me, it just seems silly. And I've thought that for quite a while. The word zombie just seems silly. And for people who say, you can't do that, The Walking Dead, does that. In the world of The Walking Dead, there's no zombies. Keep in mind, the Night of the Living Dead, they weren't zombies. I know that blows some people's minds. The very first, the Godfather of zombie films, they weren't zombies. If you look back at that, you'll be like, oh shit, yeah, he's right. And there's a few different cases where it is, and I like that better because, again, it just seems silly as shit. I don't know what I'm gonna do just yet, or maybe I do and I'm just full of shit, but I have names kind of sort of already. However, when you see how it plays out, it's not just naming the creature. You'll see as it plays out. But no, I think all zombie movies and stories from now on should drop the zombie shit, because to me it takes me out of it as a fan and a viewer. General idea of a release date, listen, we're releasing something soon. Hopefully this summer we got some shit to release and show off. It's going to take a lot of hard work and, passion, but we are doing it. Yes, the guy does look like he's getting his dick sucked, kind of. Another thing, too, people want to know if this is free or whatever. Listen, obviously, shit's going to get bootlegged, or people want shit for free. There's going to be free samples, and I might even just do an issue for free. Just, I have no problems with that. I'm this confident in the story where I could be like, here's the first 3 issues for free, bang, 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 and then I could go on to the crowdsource and be like, but here is the awesome variant covers, here's what we have for prints. I'm that confident in the story, how it's going to hook you, and because the story's going to hook you, the art looks amazing. I'm that confident, maybe even overconfident to some extent, but in my opinion, in my defense, I feel like if you're not really confident in what you're bringing out to the fans or to the audience, why the fuck should they even read it, So bottom line, though, is money will keep it going. Money will keep this project alive. But like I said, though, is I am dedicated to sitting here for hours and hours and hours on end, getting the story perfect or as good as it's ever going to be. And Jimmy, he's very passionate about getting the art the best it can be, as fast as we can get it. We want to show you that passion, give you a taste of this story first. We're not coming out from the gate being like, hey, we want money. Trust me, I am very confident on giving people a taste and saying, listen, if you invest in this story, we could keep it going. I'm real confident in that. A lot has to do with being such a big fan of the genre, though, because I am ever since I can remember as a kid, I've been a zombie fan. Last question. Hey, Ronnie, besides the fact that it is a survival story, is there going to be anything in your new story that has any nods, per se, to The Walking Dead? Oh, as far as nods, I think absolutely. You always, look at The Walking Dead does the zombie that looks like other zombies or other people from other horror shows and other zombie shows like Night of the Living Dead. They don't shy away from that, because you get these zombie fans that bicker like, oh, Night of the Living Dead is the greatest thing in the world. Walking Dead doesn't say, oh, well, we're a Walking Dead show, we're not gonna step on it. No, they say, especially Greg Nicotero, they're awesome. They say, here, this is a zombie that's like a nod to a zombie from Night of the Living Dead. Same thing with my story. I think there's a couple nods, some that are intentional that I put there on purpose. One, I think James Milne did, that had nothing to do with me. My idea of the fireworks, if you guys seen this cover, my idea was all standing zombies, and he put like a little nod at the bicycle girl walker. He put that in there, and I loved it. So you can call that a nod, and I'm not going to shy away from giving something a nod, because the Walking Dead, it was not only one thing, if you didn't read my oldest update video, my very first I think it was, but The Walking Dead was not only the one thing to make me stop writing this story, because I stopped the first time I watched season 1, episode 1. I literally was writing it, and I was like, I'm done. This is it. This is all we need. Because the reason I was writing it is because I didn't feel like we had a zombie show where we could cry to, one that hit our emotions. So I was writing this thing. I started watching The Walking Dead. I'm like, I'm done. But then once I started talking to you guys on this channel and I started talking about my story, so it gave birth, so it killed me writing it, and then it gave birth to me reviving it. So of course I'm going to give some nods to it. I absolutely love the show. In the same respect, I'm going to do everything I can creatively to twist and tweak things to keep it fresh and not just a copy of The Walking Dead. With that said, also, there's going to be some things that, because it's a zombie show, they're fucking zombies, some things will just be similar. However, there's an interesting take on the virus, and there's something I've been dying for a zombie show to do about the virus, and it has to do with biting and turning and everything like that, that I love, and I think it adds a new element to the storyline that no zombie show has ever done that I've ever seen, and I've tried to watch as many as I can, and it's going to be like a game changer. Yeah, I could say that. It'll be a game changer because it's not so simple anymore. I add an element to the virus that doesn't make it so black and white. I can't give you any more. So yeah, keep in mind, Just like how vampire stories have similar things like the cross going through the heart or the garlic or shit like that, there will be similar things, you know. But again, I'm going to do everything in my creative power to tweak things. There's some things I refuse to, though, because it hurts the story. It hurts this story I want to tell, so I utterly refuse. I'm running long on this, but I talked about it before. I had a group that were very similar to the Whispers. I took that shit out of the story about the heads on spikes. Remember, it was the border? I talked about that. If you go watch my Dead Living video, that was a year before that comic came out that Robert Kirkman did. There's no way anyone could predict that. And I told you about that story with the heads on spikes that were borders that you weren't allowed to cross. A year later, that happened in The Walking Dead. There's shit that's just going to be similar, you know what I mean? But I have no problem giving up some things in order to keep it fresh, and that way I don't look like I'm just copying off of the success of this show. Bottom line, because I want this to succeed. Because I want this to succeed. I want this story out there. Not only that, is I feel like it's a great story for zombie fans. You know, I think it's a story we deserve as zombie fans. So guys, I made this extra long. Oh man, I don't know why I did it. I don't even know if I can get this up tonight. Thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I'm going to shut up. It's your turn. Subscribe now.